Hey, this is Scott Allen Miller with Sam IT here on YouTube, and a question that comes up a lot, and I'm surprised by how much we see this, is how does licensing work for Windows Server on Hyper-V? And this is a little bit surprising because Microsoft, I feel, has made this so easy and so universal that it shouldn't really come up, but there's apparently some tricks to it. So I'm going to start with the high level. If you're using, so first of all, if you're using Windows Data Center licensing, you get as many VMs as fit onto the hardware that you have. So if you have one server and you license that for Windows Server Data Center, you can put as many VMs on as you want. That's it. There's no more questions to it. It's not 10, it's not 20, it's not 100 under these conditions. It's unlimited. There is a certain number of sockets, CPUs that you need to license if you're on 2012 or 2012 R2, and there's a certain number of cores you need to license if you're on 2016. But once you have the proper number for the socket or core count that you have, Data Center gives you unlimited. Same thing with Windows Server Standard, you get 2 usable VMs. It doesn't matter if you're on Hyper-V, VMware, ESXi, Zen Server, KVM, you're on VirtualBox, none of that matters. You get the same number. With Data Center it's unlimited, and with Standard it's 2, no matter what. It's 2 usable that you can actually install software on and use for some purpose. That's all you need to know. 2, no matter what. If you get another Windows Server Standard license for the proper number of cores, you get another 2, no matter what. There's no situation where you get 1, there's no situation where you get 3. Each licensing set gives you 2 with Standard. That's it. Now, getting in under the hood, 1, the hypervisor never matters. Never will, and this is most likely because of antitrust laws or just because Microsoft knows they would be incredibly silly and people would get upset. So for whatever reason, that's the way it is. It's the way it has always been, and there is realistically no chance it's going to change, so don't worry about that. It's always the same. The licensing is for Windows. There's no licensing for the hypervisor. That being said, there is a situation, and this is getting into the weeds. You don't need to know this, but if you're working with Hyper-V, and you install Hyper-V as a role from Windows Server 2012, 2012 R2, or 2016, it will install Windows, the one that you installed initially, into a VM that it refers to as the physical OSE that controls Hyper-V. It is used as a management platform for Hyper-V. That is all it is allowed to be used for. And Microsoft gives you a special license for that one use case. That is not a use case that you need because Hyper-V can be used without it. In fact, Hyper-V is better without it. It is lighter, it is faster, it is more secure, it has smaller patching and less frequent patching needs. So you don't ever want to tie a license to this physical OSE, and it's important to understand that that physical is not physical. It's called physical. It is still a VM because Hyper-V, like all enterprise hypervisors, is a type 1 bare metal hypervisor. But there is this situation where if you install in this one specific way, it would otherwise violate licensing. So Microsoft gives a special physical OSE allowance for this one type of install and limits the use to something completely useless in order to make it work. So there is an under the hood reason why they make the licensing this way, and in no way does it become a special case for Hyper-V. If you did the exact same thing, if you could, with Zen, for example, which shares an architecture with Hyper-V, you would also be allowed to do it. So it's not actually unique to Hyper-V, it's unique that Hyper-V has a way to do it. It doesn't really matter because you never should do it. So 2 is the number of VMs you get with Hyper-V, and that's all you actually need to know. And we can talk separately about why you never install in the role way. Thanks for joining me. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will post this, of course, on the Mango Lassi community at mangolassi.it, and you can hop in there to discuss or ask questions or learn more. Thanks for joining us.